Chief Two-Man's first-hand recollection of the Little Bighorn battle grants a rare glimpse into the events that shaped the future of the Lakota, Cheyenne, and Arapaho nations. A prominent war chief among the Cheyenne, Two-Man stood at the heart of the fighting and witnessed firsthand the bravery and sorrow of his people. In this singular narrative, he shares his own perspective on the time leading up to Custer's final stand, the ferocious engagement, and what followed. With remarkable clarity and insight, Two-Man recounts both the successes and the suffering of his tribe, challenging our assumptions and shedding light on a pivotal episode in Native American history. So make yourself comfortable, relax, and come along with me on this fascinating journey. While you watch this material, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to support this shared effort. In the spring of 1876, my Cheyenne band had set up camp near the Powder River, not far from where Fort McKinney now stands, with 50 teepees. At daybreak one morning, soldiers led by Colonel Mackenzie, whom we called Three Fingers, struck our village without warning. We scattered in confusion, leaving our ponies behind. The soldiers captured all our horses. Yet when night came, hidden by the darkness, we crept back and took our ponies before slipping away. We traveled a long distance and eventually came upon a large Sioux camp at Charcoal Butte. We joined the Sioux village and enjoyed the plentiful grass, game, and clean water. Crazy Horse, who led the camp, welcomed me warmly. "I am pleased you have arrived," he told me. "We are preparing to fight the white men again." The village was already filled with wounded men, women, and children. I answered, "I am ready to stand with you. I have fought before, and the enemy has taken my family and my horses." Around May, when the grass stood high and our horses were strong, we packed our belongings and moved toward the mouth of the Tongue River. Sitting Bull, Crazy Horse, and our combined force traveled up the Rosebud, where we fought General Crook in a hard battle and came out victorious. Many soldiers died, but only a few Indians lost their lives. The fighting was fierce, with thick smoke and dust choking the air. Afterward, we crossed the divide and made camp in the Little Bighorn Valley. We believed we had finally escaped the white man's reach and could live in peace. Yet a few days later, a Sioux runner came to our camp north of Sitting Bull's and announced, "Get ready for a big ceremony. Cook, prepare food, and prepare for a great dance." The Cheyennes busied themselves cooking, readying tobacco, and finishing preparations. We held a dance that lasted the whole day, savoring our freedom from the white men. I went to water my horses at the creek, cooled them in the cold water, and afterward enjoyed a refreshing swim myself. As I walked back toward the village, I looked up the Little Horn toward Sitting Bull's camp and saw a great cloud of dust rising, like a whirlwind. Suddenly, Sioux riders raced into camp shouting, "Soldiers are coming! Very many white soldiers!" I hurried into my lodge and told my brother-in-law, "Quickly ready the horses, the white men are coming." Outside, I heard a distant war cry, "Hey, hey, hey, hey," and the rapid crack of gunfire drawing closer. I could see no warriors, only our people rushing to saddle their horses. After I had readied my horse, a Sioux warrior returned and warned, "Many soldiers are approaching." He then told the women, "Stand back, we are preparing for a hard fight." I said, "I am ready. I will fight alongside you." Mounting my horse, I rode through the camp calling out urgently to everyone, "I am Two-Man. You are a leader. Do not run. Hold your ground and fight. We must face the white soldiers. I will stay even if it costs my life." I rode swiftly toward Sitting Bull's camp, where I saw the white soldiers engaged in battle, Reno's men. The plain was crowded with Indians driving the soldiers back, a wild scene of Sioux, soldiers, and horses all shooting. The air was thick with smoke and dust. I saw the soldiers fall back and go down into the riverbed like buffalo fleeing. They had no time to find a crossing, and the Sioux chased them up the slope, where they came upon more soldiers with wagons. Then messengers arrived, saying more soldiers threatened the women, so the Sioux turned back. Chief Gall fought with bravery, and Crazy Horse was there as well. Later, I returned to my own camp and stopped the women from taking down the lodges. As I stayed mounted on my horse, I saw flags appearing over the hill to the east. They were in 3 groups, squadrons with spaces between them. Then a bugle sounded, and they got off their horses while some soldiers led the horses back over the hill. The Sioux charged up the ridge from every direction, riding hard with the Cheyennes taking the left side. The firing began, fast and steady, pop, 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 very rapid. Some soldiers were kneeling, others standing, their officers leading from the front. The smoke was thick like a huge cloud, and wherever the Sioux charged, dust rose like smoke. We surrounded them completely, closing in like water around a stone. We shot, galloped fast, then shot again. Soldiers fell, horses collapsed on them, and soldiers in formation dropped. Yet one rider kept moving along the line, calling out without pause. He was mounted on a chestnut horse marked with a white blaze and white front legs. I never learned who he was, but he carried himself with great bravery. The warriors kept circling without rest, and the soldiers managed to kill only a handful. Many of the soldiers fell. When it ended, all the horses had been killed except 5. Every so often a man would break away from the group and dash toward the river, only to be cut down soon afterward. At last, about 100 men and 5 soldiers still on horseback remained at the top of the ridge, packed close together. Through all the fighting, the bugler kept sounding his notes, and he showed remarkable courage. Then a leader was killed. I heard it was Longhair Custer, though I cannot say for sure. The 5 horsemen and a group of roughly 40 men started moving toward the river, following the man on the chestnut horse, who never stopped calling out encouragement. He wore a buckskin coat, had long dark hair and a mustache, and fought fiercely with a big knife. His men were covered in pale dust, making their ranks hard to see. One man ran alone far down toward the river, then circled back over the ridge. I thought he might get away, but a Sioux warrior shot him in the head. He was the last one left on his feet, and he had braids on his arms. All the soldiers lay dead, and their belongings were stripped from them. Afterward, it was difficult to tell which ones were officers. The bodies stayed where they had dropped, a quiet witness to what had happened. We did not hold a dance that evening because deep sadness weighed on us. The next day, 4 Sioux chiefs, 2 Cheyennes, myself, and 2 Moons went to the battlefield to count those who had died. One man carried a bundle of sticks. When we came to each fallen person, we took 1 stick and passed it to another man, counting the dead in that way. We counted 388 bodies altogether. Among them were 39 Sioux and 7 Cheyennes killed, and about 100 wounded. Some white soldiers were slashed with knives to make sure they were dead, and the warrior women cut up certain bodies. Most were left where they had lain. We found the man with the large mustache lying partway down the slope toward the river. Custer had fallen higher up the ridge. The Indians did not take his buckskin coat. The Sioux said, "That is a great chief. That is Longhair." I could not say for certain, because I had never seen him before. The man on the horse with the white face was the bravest of all. That day, as the sun went down, our young men charged up the Little Horn, riding hard. We saw many white soldiers arriving on a big boat with smoke rising from it. I gathered my people, and we quickly moved up the Little Horn into Rotten Grass Valley. We stayed there for 3 days, then rode swiftly back east along the trail we had come on. Sitting Bull went back to the Rosebud and traveled down the Yellowstone, heading north. I never saw him again.